Top of the morning to you lovely people, how are you doing? I hope you are well. It's 6 o'clock, I'm heading to the gym and work. I'm getting this done early today because I've got a ridiculously hectic week, so it is what it is this morning. Right, so progress was made yesterday on the streaming setup. That is really progressing, happy with that. Got some macros coding on the Stream Deck. There were a few issues around swapping out sources. I really didn't want to do it the way that it was done, but after speaking to a couple of people, I definitely checked my references, as it were, on how the best way to do something, basically. So I didn't want to have multiple scenes having the same camera shots replicated with different cameras for the different angles, because that seems like a really daft way of doing something, like really dumb. And it felt like there was a better way to do it. So I don't know if this comes from having a software engineering background, but I would have a template and then I would just inject the variables into there, which the variables in this case would be the different camera angles. And it turns out there is a way of doing it. So the way that a couple of people looked at doing it, it seems that what I'm trying to say, right, it's very early, so bear in mind I'm lying, I have had a coffee, but I've only had one coffee so far. Right, so I've got a scene, it's a screen. I've got 3 camera shots on there. Sometimes I want the primary camera shot, that's the biggest one, that is the background, and then having picture in picture of the other two. I want to swap those out. The only static one will be the headshot on that scene. So basically I want to toggle backwards and forwards when one is the primary, one becomes the secondary, when the secondary one is active, the other one becomes the primary. Does not seem difficult at all. That should be something you should do. I should be able to do. The positions of those things don't change. However, what does change is the actual base resolution. So one of the cameras captures in 16:9, which is the native aspect ratio of the canvas. The other one captures in 4.3, not 4.3, which isn't the native aspect ratio of the camera. You see where I'm coming from here, don't you? Right, so doing it the way that everybody was suggesting, where just having multiple sources how I wanted in the position that I wanted and then toggling the visibility, seems sensible. However, turns out you can apply like masks dynamically based off of button press, and you can create compound rules on a button press using Stream Deck or Loop Deck. It doesn't matter which. I'm using Stream Deck on this particular machine, but I also use Loop Deck as well. So I've written it in both should I want to swap and change between them for whatever reason. So I can now do that. But it was good. It was useful to find out that the way that I was going to do it, the longer form way, was the way that the majority of people was doing it. And I wondered from the chap that I was talking to in the first instance, before I checked, if it was because he was using Streamlabs, which is a variant of OBS, which is what I'll be using to stream. Streamlabs is a slimmed down, paid for, simpler but faster setup solution. Loads of people use it, there's nothing wrong with it at all, whereas OBS gives you much more fine-grained granular control. So that was really useful. Oh wow, there was nearly an accident in front of me then. So I got that all working, which is great, and I'm hoping that within another 5 or 6 hours of messing around, I'll be in a state where I'm ready to stream. So perhaps this week. It has obviously cut into my painting hobby time, which is a bit annoying, but yesterday evening, last night, was super beneficial for me to go through that. And it's also particularly relevant, and I was doing that rather than painting, because this week I'm doing some live broadcast stuff at work using the ATEM hardware OBS. So OBS, for anybody that doesn't know, is Upload Broadcast Studio, and the ATEM is a commercial broadcast quality camera switching thing, like the kind of thing that you'd see on TV, where they switching between cameras and stuff. That thing, but it's a physical hardware box. So all of your wipes, all of your different camera screens, and everything like that. It's all in that hardware deck interface. So it's functionally very, very similar, and you can create macros and stuff. Whereas OBS is all software controlled. This being hardware, there's no delay in the camera switching or anything like that, unless you introduce delays. So it's good. It's a good parallel between personal and professional, and that's kind of how I'm trying to do everything at the moment. If I'm doing something at work that I need to have more experience with, I'm trying to do that as part of this project to upskill myself, and that's kind of working. Anyway, that's it for now. I've got the Kong vs Godzilla thing out of my way. Rant over. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. And I'm back to hopefully talking about this sort of stuff. Right, I'll be more awake tomorrow. I promise, probably. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm having pre-workout. I'll be there in a couple of minutes, and I will feel more alive in a couple of hours once I've finished. And my throat is not doing too good this morning. Right, till tomorrow. I'll see you. Bye.